Sanusha, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. So the judge here, Justice Raymond Zondo, of course, saying that he needs more time to make this decision. But if you look at the arguments from yesterday, of course, Jacob Zuma asking that he's biased, also saying that this state capture inquiry is basically aimed at sinking him and his name. What do you reckon?
It's a funny state of affairs, Shahan. I think, when you reach a point in something as serious as the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, when we see these kinds of tactics and antics being played out, even with the former board chair of the SAA, you have to wonder whether these people take it seriously or this is just about ducking and diving. And I think for me, it really undermines the value, the importance, and the critical nature of this Commission of Inquiry. So to answer your question with that kind of preface, I think the problem here is, there's reputational risk, particularly for the for Deputy Justice Zondo, because he has to now prove whether or not there's a conflict of interest. He has to now ensure that his reputation is not sullied in the court of public opinion, but also in the context of the Jacob Zuma supporters, and this constant kind of trying to undermine the process by saying, oh, tomorrow we've got a funeral. Yes, we have to respect that. But again, these tactics become tactics of what you see in terms of how people are trying to obfuscate from what their responsibility is, not to come out and say, you know what, I'll answer these questions, irrespective of who you are, whether there's a conflict of interest. I'll come in and I'll appear before you, I'll answer them, and of course the question is, how do you take that forward? Yes, I understand that there's this whole question and this whole controversy and cloud of controversy over the biasness of whether the report by the Justice Zondo would be coherent and would be apolitical and whatever. But at the end of the day, this commission has been running for a while now, and what really irks me is that this is money, taxpayers' money, that basically is being used. And of course, the more we see this procrastination and these kinds of drawing out the process, I think people are going to get very frustrated. I'm frustrated by the fact that money is going into something that should be wrapping up.
And of course, Jacob Zuma was well aware that Raymond Zondo was being appointed chair of this inquiry, didn't he? No red flags raised back then, but now, of course, we're seeing those red flags being raised.
Shahan, that for me is the actual question around what is happening. This whole perplexing nature that suddenly now you realize, hang on, there's a conflict of interest. I mean, if that doesn't tell you that this is about all kinds of Mickey Mouse approaches to the state of Commission of Inquiry, all kinds of dodging tactics, then I don't know what else we need to see. Because at the end of the day, going back to the former Public Protector's report, saying that she recommends that the Chief Justice appoint a head of this commission, I stand corrected on this, because I think at the end of the day as well, the president's prerogative within, or the presidential power within the Constitution, we have to look at what the gray areas they are, and I think it'll be good to get a legal expert, a legal opinion on this. But at the end of the day, if you knew this, why come now to the Commission and raise all these red herrings?
Yeah, exactly. It's, of course, very questionable. We're going to leave it right there. Sanusha Naidu from the Institute for Global Dialogue. Thank you so much for that.